Hey everybody, good morning. It's Thursday. Today is lesson 15-2, and this is actually the last lesson that we're going to be doing of topic 15. I'm going to move you on to topic 16 on Monday. So the lesson 3, 4, and 5 of topic 15 are going to be things that you'll get next year. Okay, so this is topic 15, lesson 2. It's called Understanding Angles and Unit Angles.
What is the unit used to measure angles? Think about this question during the lesson. An angle is measured with units called degrees. An angle that turns through 1/360th of a circle is called a unit angle. How can you determine the angle measure of a right angle and the angles that turn through 1/6 and 2/6 of a circle?
So they're talking about if I have this ray, right? And then this top, see this top ray? If this came all the way up here and it came from this point up, so you'd have the top and the bottom rays, right? That would be the 90 degrees. Okay, so that would give you 90 over 360, because if I took this and went all the way around in a circle and came back, that would be 360 degrees. So that would be the whole thing. So they're considering 360 degrees to be the whole circle. So if I started here, left one of these rays and took the other one and went all the way around in a circle, that's 360 degrees. So this is telling you that this is 1 degree. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the degrees come all the way up here to 90 when it's a perfect L. When that right angle, I should go this way, I guess. When that angle goes at a perfect 90 degrees. Oh, this way. It's opposite for me on this computer. Okay, so when you have a perfect L, it's 90. When I bring my angle or my ray all the way down to here, I have a straight angle. When I come back all the way down here, okay, it brings me to, well, what, 180 plus the 90, 270. So I get 270 and then all the way up to 360. Okay, so you get a quarter of the way around, halfway around, 3/4 of the way, and then all the way. And 360 is the full circle. Oh, so they're asking you for what is 1/6 and what is 2/6 of the circle. So they're breaking this 360 into sixths. So we're going to see what those numbers become.
An angle that measures 1 degree is a unit angle, or 1-degree angle.
Remember, it's a unit because it's that 1 over something, right? So 1 over 360, because that's the total amount in this fraction here.
How many unit angles are in a circle? How do you know?
So how many total ones are there in 360? Well, there's 360, right?
There are 360 unit angles in a circle. Since each unit angle is 1/360th of a circle, there will be 360 unit angles in one whole circle.
Just like in sixths, right? If I had 1/6, I said that was the unit angle, 1/6. Well, there are 1/6 in a whole. So there are 360 ones in 360.
Divide to find the angle measure of a right angle. Right angles divide a circle into 4 equal parts.
So each of those 4 parts are 90. 90, 90, 90, 90.
Measure of a right angle is 90 degrees. Multiply to find the measure of an angle that turns through 1/6 of a circle.
So they want you to take that 360 and divide it by 6. So remember, when you're doing that, you have 360 divided by 6, but really think about it as 36 divided by 6, right? 36 divided by 6. Well, 6 times 6 is 36, right? So then you have to take that 0 from the 360 and put it onto the 6. So there's 60.
Multiply 360 degrees by 1/6 to calculate the angle measure. What is the angle measure? Select your answer.
So what they want you to do here is multiply 360 by 1/6, okay, which takes you back into, I think it was like topic 12 or topic 11, right? Where you're multiplying fractions. So instead of that, we're thinking about dividing because division is the inverse operation of multiplication, right? So instead of multiplying this, think about it, how many sixths or how many sixes are there in 360? Well, if you take the 36 and the 6, you know that there's 6. You have to take this 0 and put it onto the end of that 6 to have 60.
The angle measure is 60 degrees. If the circle were larger, would the measure of the angle change? Explain.
Okay, so if the circle were larger, it could be a bigger circle, but the degrees are still like a full circle is always going to be 360 degrees, no matter the size of the circle. So it could be this teeny, teeny little circle. It's still going to be 360 degrees all the way around. It could be a huge pizza, right? The degrees of the pizza is still going to be 360. That number doesn't change. Just like there's always going to be 60 minutes in an hour. There's always going to be 24 hours in a day. Those numbers don't change. So there's always going to be 360 degrees in a whole circle. So no matter the size of it, it's still going to be 360.
No matter what size the circle is, an angle that turns through 1/6 of a circle
will always measure 60 degrees. Because that's what
Add
1/6
to
of a
find the
circle
measure
is.
of an angle that turns through
Oh, so
2/6.
if you know what 1/6 of the circle is, and you know it's 60 degrees, what is double that? Because that's 1/6, then give me 2/6. So if that's, here's 1/6 is 60, 2/6 is really 60 plus 60. So do you know that degrees? What is 60 degrees plus 60 degrees?
6 of a circle. Remember, 2/6 equals 1/6 plus 1/6. Add to calculate the measure of 2/6
And there you
of
go.
a circle.
You would have had 120
60
degrees.
plus 60 degrees equals 120 degrees. The angle measure of 2/6 of a circle is 120 degrees.
Now you know what unit is used to measure angles.
Remember, the unit that they're talking about is degrees. So every angle has a degree measurement. So 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees. When you're talking about that, you're not talking about inches or minutes or miles. You're talking about degrees for a circle. So for this whole lesson, it's going to be that little teeny circle that means degrees, which is not talking about the weather, right? It's not talking about Fahrenheit or Celsius degrees, but it's talking about the degrees or the size of the angle. So that's what we measure in. That's your unit for measurement of angles is degrees. Okay, and that's the end of this visual learning. So you guys are going to be going on to, today is just understanding the visual learning. Okay, so if you want to watch this a couple times, that's fine. If you want to go into the practice. Oops, I always go into the wrong practice. Silly. Here's your practice. Nope, that's not your practice. Where's our practice? Visual learning. Oh, I thought that was the practice. Let's see. This should give me the page, but it doesn't look like it's going to. Oh, yeah, it does. I had it zoomed. Oh, okay, you guys. So here's the practice. Now, this is for tomorrow, but if you want to get started on it today while it's fresh, go ahead. Okay, so this explains that a 45-degree angle turns through. It's 45 degrees of that whole circle. So remember, it's not 90. It's smaller than 90. Think about your numbers on the number line where they are. So 45 is actually half of 90, right? So you should be looking and saying, look at where my mouse is on the computer right now. This angle, that perfect L, is 90. So half from here to here, from this ray to this ray, makes that angle, right? We call it whatever the variables are, L, M, N, or whatever they are. This is 45 degrees right here. So if you actually look in at this whole circle, the whole thing's going to equal 360. So if this is 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45. So 45 degrees, they're saying, is equal to 1/8 of the circle. You can see because there's 8 total pieces. They all equal 45 degrees. And when they're all put together, all 8 of them, you get the 360-degree circle. So this breaks down all that for you. 1/8 of the circle is 45 degrees. Always. It's always going to be 1/8 of a circle is 45 degrees. Just like 1/4 of the circle is always going to equal 90 degrees. So those are things that won't ever change for you. Even when you go into 5th grade, even when you're an adult and you're measuring angles for constructing things, it's always going to be 360 degrees for a circle. 1/8 of a circle is always going to be 45 degrees. 1/4 of a circle is always going to be 90 degrees. Those things won't change. So if you can remember those now, things will be easier for you later. So you have the guided practice, which I don't really worry about the modeling the math so much as though practicing these ones. So number 3 and 4 for the guided practice, and then at least half of these ones. So either do 5 and 6 or 7 and 8 or do the evens. That's for tomorrow. And what I want you to send me is it's not here, of course, but it's the homework page, just the front side. So I think you only have about 4 to 6 of problems for tomorrow's homework day. Okay. All right, you guys. So you could always watch that visual learning again, but remember what we talked about here. It's really important that you understand that the whole circle is always 360 degrees, and 1/4 of it is 90, and 1/8 of it is 45. Those are degrees. That's the unit you're measuring angles by.